Have you ever wondered why some disappointments hurt so much? Is it because life is cruel, or is it because we secretly believe life owes us something? Today's story is about a man who spent years fighting reality, until one unexpected day changed the way he saw everything. Listen carefully, because before this story ends, you may discover that the greatest cause of suffering is not failure. It is expectation. A long time ago, in a peaceful village surrounded by green hills and winding rivers, lived a young man named David. David was known for one thing. He always had a plan. Every morning, he woke up with a list of how his day should go. Every week, he imagined how his future should unfold. Every year, he expected life to reward him exactly as he deserved. If I work hard, he often told himself, good things will surely happen. It sounded reasonable. After all, wasn't that what everyone believed? So, David studied harder than anyone else. He helped his neighbors without expecting payment. He respected the elderly. He kept his promises. And every night, before sleeping, he pictured the perfect future waiting for him. He imagined owning the biggest farm in the village. He imagined marrying the woman he loved. He imagined becoming someone everyone admired. Everything seemed certain, at least in his mind. But life had a different story. One season, heavy rain destroyed his crops. Months of hard work disappeared in just one night. David sat in the muddy field, staring at the broken plants. This wasn't supposed to happen, he whispered. Still, he refused to give up. The next season will be better. He planted again. This time, insects invaded the farm. Another harvest was gone. Again, David stared at the empty land. Again, he said the same words. This wasn't supposed to happen. Years passed. The woman he hoped to marry chose someone else. I thought she loved me, he said. His closest friend moved away without saying goodbye. I never expected this. A business he invested all his savings in suddenly failed. I did everything right. Slowly, David became a different man. He smiled less. He laughed less. He trusted less. Every disappointment added another stone to the invisible burden he carried. One afternoon, while walking through the forest, David met an old traveler resting beneath a large tree. The old man looked calm. His clothes were dusty. His walking stick was worn. Yet his face carried a peace David had never seen before. The traveler smiled. You look tired, David sighed. I am tired. Tired from walking? No, tired from life. The old man nodded, as if he already understood. They sat together in silence. After a while, the traveler asked, What troubles you? David poured out years of frustration. I worked hard. I was honest. I did my best. But nothing happened the way I expected. The traveler listened carefully. When David finished, the old man picked up a dry leaf from the ground. He released it into the wind. The leaf floated wherever the breeze carried it. Tell me, the traveler asked, did the leaf complain because the wind changed direction? David frowned. It's only a leaf. The traveler smiled. Exactly. Then he picked up a small seed. If this seed expects sunshine every day, it will die when the rain comes. If it expects rain forever, it will also die. It survives because it accepts both. David remained silent. The traveler continued. You are not suffering because life is difficult. You are suffering because reality refuses to obey your expectations. Those words hit David like thunder. For the first time, he wondered if his pain had another source. The traveler stood up. Walk with me. They crossed a narrow bridge. On the other side stood an old fruit tree. Some branches were full of sweet fruit. Others were completely dry. The traveler pointed at the tree. Look carefully. It never argues with the seasons. It never demands that every branch produce fruit. It simply keeps growing. David looked closely. Despite the dry branches, the tree was still alive, still standing, still reaching toward the sky. The traveler smiled again. You expected life to give you only spring, but every life includes winter. You welcomed success. You rejected disappointment. You accepted gain. You fought loss. And because of that, every surprise became suffering. David lowered his head. Everything suddenly made sense. The old man wasn't saying people should stop dreaming. He wasn't saying people should stop working. He was saying something much deeper. Dream, work, hope, but never demand that life follows your script. The traveler left before sunset. David never saw him again, but his words stayed with him forever. The following year, David planted another farm, not because he expected success, but because planting was his responsibility. When rain destroyed part of the crops, he planted again. When buyers offered low prices, he searched for new markets. When problems appeared, he solved what he could and accepted what he couldn't. Slowly, something surprising happened. David became happier, not because life became easier. Life remained unpredictable. Some years were wonderful, others were painful, but disappointments no longer broke him. Why? Because he had stopped arguing with reality. Many years later, children from the village often visited David. By then, he had become one of the wisest men anyone knew. One curious boy asked him, "Grandfather David, what is the secret to a peaceful life?" David smiled. He picked up 2 clay pots. One was empty. The other was filled with stones. He handed the heavy one to the boy. The child struggled to carry it. Then David gave him the empty pot. The boy lifted it easily. "What made the difference?" David asked. "The stones," the boy replied. David nodded. Expectations are like these stones. The more you fill your heart with how life must happen, the heavier every disappointment becomes. The children sat quietly. David looked toward the mountains where the sun was slowly setting. Life is full of gifts, but many people never notice them. They spend all their time comparing reality to the picture they created in their minds, and every difference feels like failure. He paused. Then he spoke the words that everyone remembered for generations. Expectation says, life must happen my way. Wisdom says, life will happen its own way, and I will learn from every step. Years later, after David had passed away, the villagers carved those words onto a large stone beside the old fruit tree. Travelers stopped to read them. Some smiled, some cried, because they finally understood something that takes many people a lifetime to learn. Not everything will go as you expect. People will disappoint you, plans will change, doors will close, dreams will be delayed, and sometimes life will lead you somewhere you never wanted to go. But hidden inside those unexpected paths are lessons you could never have found on the road you planned. The happiest people are not those whose lives always go according to plan. They are those who know how to keep walking when the plan falls apart. So, dream boldly, work faithfully, love deeply, hope sincerely. But hold your expectations lightly, because peace does not come when life becomes predictable. Peace comes when you stop expecting life to obey your expectations. And perhaps that is one of the greatest freedoms a person can ever discover.